So recently, I've been struggling with actually working, having the drive. I've just been really struggling with work, and that's because I lacked a routine, I lacked systems, and I lacked a solid drive, goal, or purpose, or just a real direction throughout the day. Now, I heard a quote from, I forgot who it was, but it states that you do not rise to the level of your standards, you fall to the level of your systems, which I believe is in Atomic Habits, which I need to read. But the point is that I had no systems, no routine, no daily tasks, and I also didn't have a big enough drive to really like put me on the right path. Now, I associated more pleasure with not growing than pain with not growing. Okay, so I'd indulge in maybe quicker dopamine releasing activities, and then I really just hated the situation I was in. So today I'm going to show you what I've done in the past 2 days to essentially change my habits, change my limiting beliefs, add more routine to my day, add more of a structure, add more of an actual purpose, and how I've associated or got the momentum to associate pleasure with growth and the end outcome and pain with sticking to how I am now. So let's jump right into this Miro board. This is going to be a banger video. I think this is one of the most valuable things that I will ever speak about, right? Up to now at least. So the first thing I've done, which I thought was best to show you on my actual computer so that you can see this properly, right, is I've set up a Google Calendar. Now let's go, let's filter it by day, right? It's still a little bit hard to really tell what's going on, but let's break this down. So from 12 till 6 I sleep, okay? Pray Fajr, cool. I wake up, I get ready, and I do all of that. So whether that's food, anything to do with getting up and all that. I then on the weekends do side tasks. Now my days look a little bit different, not every day is the same. I do side tasks for an hour, so maybe that's something that I've been procrastinating, cleaning my room, or I don't know, doing other little things, right? I'll walk to Muay Thai, I'll train Muay Thai for 2 hours, go to the gym, then I'll walk home, blast through some cold for an hour, have short walk or food if I've not eaten that morning, sales calls slash deep work, I've got to pray here, the hood, short break at 5 p.m, right? Back-end systems from 5:30 till 9:30. I mean, depending on whether I've got sales calls, I'll take those obviously. But this is really when I can just get all the less needle moving things done. So like content creation and such. And then I have my prayer times. I chill from 9:30 to 11, and then I sleep. So chilling could be like consuming some educational content or doing something that allows me to kind of expand my knowledge, right? So this is what a weekend kind of looks like. Let's go to Monday. It's a little bit different. So we have all the same things, but we wake up and get ready 6 to 7. Then we go to gym 7 to 9, and then from 9 a.m. right, we'll have a deep work slash outreach session. Go on a short walk. If I have sales calls, I'll take the sales calls. Usually they're not before like 1. I don't know, just what I kind of see. Obviously, still take the sales calls where I need to be. Anyway, you can kind of get the gist of how this is laid out. Okay, we've got a couple deep work sessions, couple breaks in between, we've got gym in the morning, and that kind of goes. Tuesdays I've got Muay Thai, so we've just created a bit of space for Muay Thai as well. Push the deep work session 30 minutes till 10 p.m, and then obviously we have all the prayer times, everything. So that's the first thing I've done to create more of a routine for myself, which is really important that you guys do. Utilize Google Calendar. It is one of the most beneficial things to genuinely stick into a routine. Now, what I then have done is I've added Google Calendar to my background. Not background, there's a widget on my home screen, right? And that is so I can look at my phone, know what I'm doing, right? Do I have a prayer time coming up? Do I have a sales call coming up? What stage of the day am I at right now? Okay. And obviously you have to have tasks. So what I've done is I've downloaded Google Tasks. And you want to do the 5-4-5 method, right? My boy made a really good video on this. Maybe I'll link it. Maybe I'll make a video myself. 5-4-5 method, okay? Which basically states that you want about 3 to 5 main tasks, right? Which I've done here. Film content, limiting beliefs, data tracking spreadsheet. This is done. This is done. Need to work on this after this video, right? You can see here that I've added the tasks onto my home screen as well, so that I know, okay, I'm in a back-end system / content creation, and I need to film content as one of my tasks. That's what I'm going to do, right? It is bulletproof set up right there, okay? I've also made goals. So part of the 5-4-5 is to have 5 goals in 3 to 6 months. So my goals in 3 months are an extra 10k per month, systematized, scalable and outsourced, so I'm not overworked. I can outsource things, and I want this to be profit. 10k of profit in 3 months, that's the goal. I want a stronger relationship with God, and I want to average around 10 meetings booked per day, 5 sales calls per day, and then I also, just out of work, want to be more shredded, have visible abs, and that as like a kind of self goal, like I look at myself, that is my goal, right? So, I mentioned at the start that I lacked short-term goals, I didn't have a routine, and I didn't actually have tasks that I do that day. So, to obviously systematize it, to make it bulletproof, to allow me to do these things, I've done this, right? Another key thing that I cannot stress enough is delete Instagram, right? TikTok, YouTube, right? Facebook, delete anything that could be short form content that you can get from, yeah? You can get retarded monkey brain from. On top of that, I'm going to go here as well. You can see that my home screen is dead, right? I've got this, and then I've also got this. Bang, right? This is my like work folder, okay? I think I have another screenshot of this. SonucLar, work, WhatsApp business, Calendly for meetings, ChatGPT because it's goated, Stripe to see all my payments and shit, Google Calendar for my routine, see what sells, whatever, Meta Business Suite for client management and general ads, Ads Manager, same thing, go high level just in case, right? Basic shit that I need in there. And that's it. And then obviously I've also got down here like just the basic like phone, FaceTime messages, because I don't use Snapchat. I'm not gay, right? I've got testosterone, whatever. I then, to add more routine, to understand what I was doing, created standard operating procedures. So you will find that everything you do in life will have some friction towards it. And what you want to do is you want to break down the day-to-day activities. What has the most friction? Let me give you an example. Let's say you struggle to wake up in the morning, okay? You really struggle to wake up and you keep hitting the snooze. What you can do is you can download an app like Timely, which will set an alarm that you choose, and it will not turn off until you scan a printed out QR code or barcode, right? So what you can do, if you know that you struggle with waking up, and you know that you have to go to the toilet, you have to shower, you have to brush your teeth and do whatever, you can essentially put the QR code in the bathroom so that the alarm will not turn off until you go to the bathroom, scan that, and now you are up. You are up, you need to do your things, and you will not go back to bed from that, right? You can see how that's a system to make getting up easier, right? What we want to do is we want to make standard operating procedures for everything that might have friction. So at least you know what you're doing, okay? In the morning, sleep closest to the side to get up, right? My bed is next to a wall and then there's a side to get off. I sleep the closest side to get off the bed. Makes it easier for me to get up. Alarm, cool, bang. I go to the toilet, brush my teeth, shower, right? Basic shit every human does. Put pre-made clothes on. So I find it sometimes hard to find clothes. Maybe they're in the washing, maybe they're hung to dry, maybe they're in my wardrobe or my drawers or whatever. To make it frictionless, as easy as possible, I now put pre-made clothes out somewhere on my washing basket, next to my bed, whatever. So I can put that on. I'll pray Fajr if I haven't already. I will read 2 pages of Quran, and then I will go to the gym. And that is systematized. I know if I look at my morning and I really think, what are the highest points of friction? How can I be more effective? I can make it more effective. In the shower, I could brush my teeth. You know? Easy. Frictionless, effortless, and it saves time. The equation you want to follow for building systems is time saved. Right? My drawing's really bad. Time saved plus efficiency. Well, that's like, well, effectiveness. Because efficiency is time saved. Right? If it is not effective, if it does not save you time, there's not really much point in doing that. If it takes you 30 minutes to get ready compared to 15 minutes to get ready, there's no point in doing the 30-minute routine and 15-minute routine. Makes sense? I think that kind of makes sense. You should really understand that. Anyway, let's move on. So my deep work system. Now, the way that I've kind of made this so that it is as optimized as I possibly can, and this is what you should do as well, is when I do my work, I have a sheet of paper in front of me, distractions, right? Whenever I am working, whether I feel hungry, I need to go to the toilet, I need some water, I want a coffee, I get distracted by the things on my desk, whatever it could be, I will write it down and then tally how many times I get distracted by it. For example, I look out the window too much. Just an example. Now I know what distracts me, I can reverse engineer it to not distract me. Is my desk too messy when I'm working? Clean that shit up at night after you've got everything done, because it's a really low needle moving task, but it helps maintain the deep work focus. If I'm looking too much out my window, can I close the blinds? Right? These little things. So I've realised that sometimes I need to go to the toilet, sometimes I want some water, sometimes I'm hungry, sometimes I get distracted by my phone, sometimes my desk's too messy, right? So I'll go toilet, get water, phone in wardrobe, and then I'll put my AirPods in and I'll work. That is my system for deep work, and there'll probably be more added to it to ensure that I can get the most focus, as long as it's obviously effective and efficient. Gym system. Wear swimming trunks under clothes, right? Hear me out. If you go gym in the morning and you want to jump in the sauna, jump in the steam room, whatever, it is super inefficient to take your clothes off, put your swimming trunks on, and then go. You could just, from when you're naked from the shower, put your swimming trunks on, put your clothes on, bang, saves so much time. Now you just need to take your clothes off when you get to the change room and jump in the sauna, and then basically do what you do and go home, right? So steam room is really good for you in the morning as well, because it helps increase your mood and overall energy for the day. So that's why I'm starting to implement that. Anyway, that's the system for that. Cool down system. This is when I chill. Work's finished. Now I know if my desk is not tidy from my distraction tracker, then I get distracted by it. So I'll tidy my desk and surrounding areas, because a tidy room is a tidy mind. And then what I'll do as well is I'll tidy my downstairs room where I sleep, so that I can get a good night's sleep knowing that my room isn't a shit tip. I can wake up in the morning and I can walk directly out the door without tripping over clothes. Brush my teeth, obviously, must do. If I need to shower, I'll shower. Usually I shower just because it's nice to get into bed after you shower, and then get in bed, and then whatever, watch educational content, blah blah blah. I could probably have something more systematized for this. Don't go on my phone 30 minutes before bed, listen to subliminals, read a book, I don't know, right? This is just kind of like basic jottings, and this whole thing that I've shown you has given me the routine. It's given me everything I lacked that I mentioned at the start of this video, and has put me now on the trajectory to actually do the work and to strive for the growth and to get a higher purpose. Without these things, carrying on the way I would carry on, which is sporadic, unplanned, do as I go, I would not ever stand the chance of being successful. So you really need to implement these things. Dopamine detox, right? Systems could even be, if you watch too much TV, give the controller to somebody in the house, say hide it, right? And I can't have it till X time, 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever, when you can look at educational content. Cool. That way, you cannot watch the TV when you're meant to do something else. Just as an example. It is super important to identify the biggest friction. What is stopping you from doing the work? Systematize getting rid of it. TV, phone in wardrobe, right? And then these little things make it so work is as frictionless as possible. But you also have to align your subconscious with your conscious. That's called conscious congruency. Let me zoom in this because this is actually just me talking. You need to align your subconscious with your conscious. So, what you want to do is you want to get a sheet of paper, limiting beliefs. Boom. Old beliefs, new beliefs. 2 sections. Talked about this in one of my other videos. Write down all your old beliefs, why you think the way you do, reverse engineer it, and then basically repeat that to yourself over and over and over again, morning and night. Record a voice note of it, listen to that morning and night as well whilst you're reading it, so it really sinks into your subconscious and your conscious, and it aligns to where you want to go into the future. Very simple breakdown of how to do that. Okay, super important that you align yourself with the goals, align yourself with the person who's at the goal that you want to be at, so that you can do the work and have that congruency, that alignment that allows you to focus on the work without thinking, this is boring, I want to do this is not another. Biology will always overpower willpower. You can put all these systems in place, all these routines, but if you do not systematize getting rid of the bad habits, do not align yourself with where you want to go, you will never actually follow this, and this will be absolutely useless to you, because you will fall back into the trap of quick dopamine hits, like I did, and you will not get to the place you want to go. So the question is, are you actually going to create a routine for yourself, set short-term goals, systematize everything, and align your subconscious with your conscious mind? And if you can't do that, if you can't do the dopamine detox, if you can't do that, you will never be successful. Do you think Bill Gates goes on TikTok with his vape in the morning and goes and just doom scrolls? No. Guy's a 50-year-old man. Probably gets up like a G, makes some eggs, tells his wife to get him a cigar. I don't know, maybe he goes on his jet ski, has a call with his manager that manages the managers that manages the managers, whatever the structure of this brother's company is. He does not do brain-rotting activities. He could, but he doesn't, right? And even when you're at the highest levels of man, the highest tiers of society and life, you will never actually sit there with your vape and scroll on TikTok or Insta. I'm brain dead and retarded, because you'll realise how retarded it is. So even if you could do that, you wouldn't want to do it because you've aligned your subconscious. As a small rant, I hope my kids watch this and see how their father changes over time, right? Even my appearance from the first video has completely changed. I've got facial hair, I've got a slick back now, I look better, I have toned down, I've got leaner. Anyway, point is, I want my kids to watch this shit. I want them to learn about everything that I'm speaking here, because this is how they're going to be successful. And to you, brother or sister that's watching this video, you need to implement this, otherwise you will fail, realistically. Because you do not rise to the level of your standards, you fall to the level of your systems. Discipline, you don't even need discipline, as long as you've got alignment in your subconscious and conscious, and also systems and routines. Anyway, talk for a different day. Good video.